Hello, Internet. It is me, Nick Santowski. I am coming to you from the beautiful Doubletree Inn in Decatur, Alabama. I'm here for a family trip. My wife's cousin Camille is getting married tomorrow. Congratulations, Camille. It's going to be a ton of fun. But yeah, I don't really travel a lot. This is kind of my second time in the South, so to speak. I've been to Austin, Texas once to visit the offices of Apple Computer on a business trip, but it was like, hey, I got into the airport, I was immediately shuttled to my hotel where the conference was for 3 days, and then I went home, and I didn't really get to see the world much. So this is a nice break. For those of you that don't know, I started a contest. So before leaving Green Bay, I activated Coin Plus, and anytime we're on the road, I have been geomining using Coin. Gonna share 25% of whatever my account has by the time we get home. So, like I said, anytime we're in a vehicle in motion, I am collecting. And if you are interested in entering the contest, just go to the comments down below and put your entry in there. The closest guess without going over is going to win the 25% of whatever I've earned in coin, which should be pretty decent. I know my balance is already over 4,000, pretty close to 5,000 actually. That voting closes tonight at midnight Central Time. Excuse me. So that being said, we'll talk about a couple of other things. First off, this excursions book, which is pretty cool. This was on the coffee table in the hotel when we got here, and I'm kind of jealous. I think I'm going to look into if I can keep this book or whatever. It's just got all kinds of awesome information about the area, and featuring, of course, a lot about Rocketland. We drove past the Saturn rocket. There's a gigantic Saturn rocket standing outside, and as we drove past it, my mother-in-law was like, "Oh, there's the rocket," and I'm like, "What?" So I like Google and I look, and it's totally legit, and it made me immediately think about Destin from Smarter Every Day. Now, he doesn't know me, I don't know him, but I've watched a bunch of his videos. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to tag him in this because I want him to get on the XYO boat too. I think that this is something huge that I think is going to play out very well for space travel in the future, as well as just geospatial data around the US. And I keep thinking of additional ways to use the XYO network to carry data, and what type of additional pieces you might throw into a bound witness packet. And it's really pretty exciting. Like, a little bit scary exciting. Like, we've never seen technology like this before, where devices self-validate and self-announce. And one of the topics I put out on Reddit, or one of the concepts I should say that I shared out on Reddit, was to say a tire manufacturer, perhaps, that does a lot of laboratory tests and simulations of wear on their tire products, to come up with their mileage. And all this is lab testing, right? It's not practical experience, because no one can really put a tire through 100,000 miles. Or can they? It's entirely feasible, the way that XY is built, to make a little chip, and I would estimate that it would be somewhere around $15 to $30 to make a little chip to put on the inside of a tire that would track rotations, which, based on the size of the tire, you could then approximate distance traveled. And that could just be working with the XY network to constantly report the make and model and year and current mileage on every tire in the world. It wouldn't be hard to do. And then every tire would be helping to feed this XY network of data. I mean, it's astounding to think. And then, of course, the end game here is that the tire manufacturer has all of this statistical data, not only how many miles are on every tire and what the largest number is that tires acquire before they stop reporting back, but how often are they being seen by different people? Where are those transactions taking place? Has this tire been primarily in the south or the north or overseas? Or there's a lot of astounding information that can come from what we're building with the XY Oracle network, and like I said, it's almost scary to think about what it could be if it takes off. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is going to be a quick video, is Scott Scheper just sent out an article on Medium. He also sent it by email. It was very, very professional sounding. I have a feeling he had to personally kind of rein himself back from the excitement he wanted to share because of the feedback guys like me have been giving. But he was sharing some facts, some statistics about coin, and man, if I'm remembering the numbers correctly, we have the coin app has like a 30% user retention rate, which is really unheard of in the app marketplace. I had a friend that had some apps out there, and he was lucky to see people stay past 3 or 4%. Even some of the good apps, like 15% is like a really good number for like high-end professional apps. 30% is astounding in customer retention. Now, maybe part of that is the fact that we have a minimum cash out of 10,000. That's very possible. Maybe part of that is, well, here's the thing. For that app, at least in the Android world, I'm not familiar with the Apple world, but for that number to continue, you have to be an active user of the application. Like, you have to open it within 7 days. So that's pretty astounding. The other thing that he said in there was the amount of user growth, like 1,000 users per day. That's crazy. So I think kudos are due to the XY team. It seems like you're doing things and moving in the right direction. You said there's going to be some announcements coming up soon. I'm hoping that is going to be device-to-device bound witnesses, because I think that's really what's going to be the necessary next step to start making useful and queryable data. On my own personal wish list, I would love it if we could just do a little bit of work on the matrix. Number one, to make stakes more visible. Right now it's kind of hard for users to find stakes that they've made in the past. And number two, since those nodes aren't active, at least not yet, maybe that's coming soon, since the nodes aren't active, it would be really nice if you would allow cooldown and unstaking. My battery's getting low. I don't know if you heard that. But yeah, it would be nice to see some unstaking options, or if there are some other cryptocurrencies that could get into coin soon, that would be kind of cool too. So if you live somewhere between Green Bay and Decatur, Alabama, watch out as you're driving, especially on the highways. Every stop I've been at, I've been leaving geo-drops. I stopped once I got here. Like, I'm not going to geo-drop the hotel. Maybe when I leave I will. Or, you know, we've just been to a lot of places where it'd be too easy to find me, even though I just told you where I am. But yeah, so collect my geo-drops. In the comments, let's hear how many tokens you think I'm going to end up with when I get home. And if you're the closest, you can win some. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully do another video when I get home next week.